Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at the NBA slate for Thursday. We have 7 games today, another medium-sized slate. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully we can make some money today. As always, if you enjoy the videos, appreciate it. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out all the socials. They are in the description. Starting off with the point guard position, we have Luka Doncic. He's $12,200. Last couple of games, we've seen Luka not be the best in terms of just getting you a lot of DK points. After the 84-point game, he's been 3 straight games of kind of been disappointing DFS-wise. It's going right back against the Warriors. At least he's at home in this one. Typically does play well here, so I think he looks like a great option. We have Steph Curry at 11-1. Seems like a pass for me just because, Klay Thompson is coming back in this one. And the price, I guess, continues to go up, whereas also the production hasn't always been there unless he gets, insanely hot from 3. You have some nice cheap options here. If you want to look to a 10K option, you have probably Murray would be my favorite. Trae Young, if he's out, looks better for DeLon Wright. Bogdanovic would be like core plays. Capella would look a lot better. Still looks good anyways, but those guys would look great. Going with a value pick here, you have Marcus Smart and Derek White. 2 guys that are going to benefit without Jaylen Brown today. So those both are in play. I prefer Marcus Smart, but definitely can get at both of them. But the value pick right now is going to be Gabe Vincent. Super cheap at $4,500. Don't expect Lowry to play. He's been dealing with a personal issue for the last couple of months. He's missed a lot of games during that stretch. We've seen Gabe Vincent step up nicely whenever that's been the case. Great three-point shooter, gets you some assists, and plays over 30 minutes, so a lot to like at that cheap price tag. At shooting guard, not too much to like at the top end. Not looking at Van Fleet even if he does play too much. Levine is up to 8K, so not too much there with having DeRozan and Vooch. It's just kind of risky there. I'm going with Marcus Smart at 64. A nice cheap option here, mid-range play. Gets more usage as you would expect, more ball handling, and possibly gets a couple of extra minutes. Without Jaylen Brown, who's just a very high usage player, a lot of that usage is going to have to be divvied up among the other starters. Another guy that looks appealing is Desmond Bane at only 57. Last couple of games he's been struggling with his shot, but that can definitely turn around. He's been a great shooter for the whole season, so he's been in a bit of a cold stretch recently. Last probably 5 or 6 times he's been under 30% from the floor in the last 10 or 12 games, but hopefully that turns around. Not the easiest matchup against Boston, but it should be a competitive game at least. And then you have Kyle Anderson, a value option here. Hunter as a value option at 45, and that's basically it. At small forward, we have Tatum as a core piece at 10K, and he's one of my favorite studs to pay up for. Just getting a good price tag on him without Brown, even though he is 10,000. But we've seen him go for over 60, 65. A lot of times this year he's almost had an 80-point game. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes absolutely nuts against the Grizzlies here at home. And he's just going to have a lot of shots and a lot of usage without Brown. Other options would be 57 for Bane as a value option here. You have a couple of more guys cheaper, like Kyle Anderson at 44, Hunter, as we mentioned actually, both of those guys are small forward. Value picks at shooting guard. Maybe you can look to Caleb Martin as for the Heat. He played well last game, but there's still some risk there just because they do have some other guys that can get high. But I would be probably Malik Monk at 47, a guy that finally started last game and it probably will continue to start. A power forward, Durant is back, which is great for the Nets, but it's just going to make the other guys look a little bit more complicated. Even though Durant's not going to play a ton in his first game back, it's just going to take away from Mills and Cam Thomas and some of those guys. Might be tougher to project those. But I'm going with Jaren Jackson Jr. at $6,200. Nice cheap option here. He struggled with fouls the last couple of games, which has plagued him his entire career. But the price tag has come way down, so I think he could be worth the risk. If he's not fouling, probably going to be playing over 30 minutes and has shown a lot of 40-point games here, a lot of 30-point games. So the price tag is just really cheap. Given the upside that he gives you. At center, Sabonis is 97, back-to-back for the Kings, but still viable. I'm looking at more of a cheap mid-range option here. I think you can go with Capella at 59 is one of my favorites just because he's super affordable. We've seen him play well against Chicago in 3 games this year. He's averaging almost 40, and there's a chance he gets over 30 minutes today because looking at the Hawks, Collins is doubtful. And then the guy that's been backing up Capella, taking away some of his minutes, is Okongwu, and he's been ruled out. So it's basically just Capella and Gorky Dang, who are going to get the center minutes. So wouldn't be surprised if they give Capella like 32 to 32-ish instead of getting to like 28 when Kong was there. And then the last guy I'm going to put in is Desmond Bane, just because he's affordable. Going a little heavy on this Memphis-Boston game. Boston is shorthanded to Memphis. At least Jaren Jackson and Bane are just good value picks. So it leaves you with like 56, 57 left for the last couple of spots. That's it for DraftKings. Let's go over to FanDuel. All right, on FanDuel, point guard picks. You have a great price tag on Luka, so he looks a lot better than like over 12K on DraftKings. So he'd be my favorite pick at point guard in terms of a pay up. Like him more than John Morant, like him more than Curry. DeRozan looks good. DeJounte Murray looks good at 96. Fox is 89. He's priced up. He still plays a lot of minutes. Last night they got blown out by the Pelicans. Westbrook at 7K gives you some upside there, but still risky. And Gabe Vincent, 49 is fine, but he looks a little bit better on DraftKings. Go ahead and put in Luka Doncic at 10-7 at shooting guard. Mid-range picks are Butler. Disappointed a lot of people yesterday. $8,200 price tag is still coming down a bit. You have some good values here with Smart at 61. Go with him as a mid-range pick. You also have Bane at 57, Klay Thompson at 57, Monk at 49 as some of the guys that stick out. Small forward is going to be Jason Tatum. 94 looks like a core piece on both sites, especially on FanDuel at that price tag. Other options would be Wiggins at only 57. Could go to Carmelo at 55. And then you have like OG, if he does play, is only 47. That would be a good option to get to. A power forward, you have Durant is 10-4. He's over 10K on both sides, so he's a fade. He's not going to play a ton of minutes in his first game back. Jaren Jackson, I like him on both sides. Looks good on FanDuel as well. As price tag has come down a bit at only 68. And then you have some guys that we can look to in terms of just a value pick here with OG Anunoby. If he does play, he would be my favorite guy in the 4K range. And that's mainly it. You have some guys you can take shots with, like Boucher's down to 38. But I'm going to go ahead and put in Jaren Jackson at 68. Still gives you a ton of upside. And I don't think he'll be super popular. And then at center, you only have Bam as your most pay up, as your highest price guy at 99. He's just too expensive. Go ahead and put in Capella at 64 on both sides. Would love to take a bet on him to get a double-double today. Possibly get like over 15 rebounds. So those are the picks I like on FanDuel. And that's about it for the video. Quick one. I'll have updates on Twitter once we get some news throughout the day. But thanks for watching. Best of luck tonight, and I'll see you all next time.